Okay, so yesterday, we ended with various types of testing. Okay, so I hope you guys got some information, like slides. You got a chance to look into it. Okay, let's go to the next slides, pretty quick. Okay, so here we have yeah. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so. Sure. People who are joining new, no issues. Okay. You can go ahead. Thing is, if you're not getting any recordings or your homeworks, just make sure you send me an email, manu@itamerica.com. Okay. So that I'll send you the whatever recordings or the homeworks or material. So we'll have some idea. Okay, so let me get started. Okay, let's go to the acceptance testing. Okay, so far we were discussing a lot of testings. You see this lot of testing we were discussing. So now we are in half of this part of these testings. So acceptance testing. So what exactly? Okay, let me do this. Jesus Christ, this software has so many issues. Okay, I cannot mute because this has some issues. Okay, so if you guys can mute yourself, that would be good. I cannot use this. It has some issues. Okay, so acceptance testing. So acceptance testing is this is a little bit high level term. Acceptance testing is a little bit high level term. Now we'll go to a little bit more specific to this acceptance. That's called user acceptance testing. Okay, user acceptance testing is something which you actually look into this when this the thing happens, right? Whenever the user sends a request, sometimes the user sends a requirements. Okay, so sometimes they say no, we want this feature, this is a new feature, this is we want it, we are looking forward to this feature. So what the business looks into this, they look into this. Okay, yeah, this is a good feature, we can work on this, and they start working on it. So there's a small new feature. So now they have to go to this acceptance testing, user acceptance testing. That means, does it really meet user criteria? To test that is called acceptance testing. Okay. So normally, this is acceptance testing. So there is user acceptance testing. Normally this will be a different team. So it will be done, once manual testing is done, right? You have one more user acceptance testing team. So there's a different team who will be working on. So you will not work on that. They have different approach to test. Although you might have the same requirements, same business documents, same thing, but the way they test is completely different. Okay, so they have their own test cases, they have their own test scenarios, they have so that's the user acceptance testing. Okay, so they test based on the user requirements. Okay. Okay, so let's move to the next topic, load testing. Okay, before that we'll go to this performance testing. You have this performance testing, right? So this performance testing is classified into two types. Performance testing is classified into two types: load testing and stress testing. Okay. Yeah, the people who cannot hear properly, okay. So you know what, as I told you, right? the people who cannot hear me, so you know what, you know, to send the request for them, you know, I've already opened this, guys. Look at this. Okay, I know it's sometimes high and sometimes low. Okay, and you know what? You need to go and request these guys. Okay, if you don't have login, you know, just log in and request that you're not able to hear this properly, because I've already opened a lot of tickets to them. Look at this. So actually, it's, you know, it's from their end. Look at this. You know, I've opened a lot of issues and they close it. You know, so a lot of things. And from here, if you see this, you know, this doesn't get better than this. You see this? This is internet is that fast. Okay. You know what? Okay, let me use this. Okay, so this is that fast. So if you cannot hear, that means it's, I know, from these guys. Okay, go ahead and request them. Okay, so that's what I can say, because you know, I've been opening and I've been working a lot in this, and you know, I didn't get any response from them, and they put it as solved. Okay, so as a tester, I have not even closed that. Okay, let me ping that. Okay. Okay. Because you know, I've been, you know, I've opened a lot of tickets, and I don't think they will encourage any tickets from me. So you know, go ahead, and you have this meeting ID, right? Make sure you send that meeting ID. That should be good. Meeting ID. That's what they require. Okay, that's 569-304-214. Okay. So okay, good. See, this was like before that. You know, I was saying it was everything was good. Um, I'm not sure exactly, Mike, because some people can able to hear me properly and some does not. Okay, so that is really not the mic problem technically. Okay, because if some people can hear, then why not some other people? Okay, does it make sense? Some people can hear properly. Okay, so okay, so that's right. Okay. So okay, let's get to this. Okay, let's not worry about that issues. You can go ahead and open a ticket and let them know. And this is the meeting ID 569-304-214, and that's what they need. And time, that's to 10:45 to 11:45. Okay, so that's what they want. And go ahead and tell all your issues, like if the voice is ups and downs and you cannot hear properly. So that should be good. And open as many people as you can, so that they will respond to it. If I open, they don't care, because one guy issue, nobody cares, right? If you are putting pressure on 10 people, now that becomes an issue. If I tell them, no one cares. No, you are the only one. But if 10 people is not only one, right? More than people. So that becomes an issue. Okay, so let's go to our topic, performance testing. Okay, so what the performance testing is classified into two types. That's load testing and stress testing. Okay. And okay, so before going here, right, let me give you some information. Why do we really require this? So here's the thing. You know what? Let's go to this. See, let's see. I'm accessing this URL. Okay, Amazon.com. You see this Amazon.com? Okay, I'm just using this URL. I'm not logging for now. I'm not logging in anything on here. So what exactly this does this? So you have this web page. All the information shows up with a lot of complex information. So whenever you use this URL, what it does is it it queries the production database. Okay, it automatically queries. Okay, no one is actually no one is writing a SQL query, right? Select start from EMP. Nobody is doing that. This is querying server. That's a server from Amazon. Whenever you're using this URL, it queries that database, production database, and what's there in the database? Lots of information. Just images, URLs, all these things are data, all kinds of data, customer data. All these are stored in the database. And whenever you use this, okay, Amazon.com, it queries the database and pulls out all the information what is there in the database. That's why you can able to see here, right? So how you can see this web page? Because it's stored in database. And how you're getting this in the web page, that's what you're using URL. Simple. Okay, so that's what it happens at the back end. Okay, so now what happens. Let's go a little bit more technical point of view. Here, let's say Amazon has bought one server. Okay, the one server, they have installed everything, all this database is going on. They are letting the users use their web page. So it's the web page is from Amazon, right? They have their own server. They are using their own database, whatever database they are using, Oracle, Teradata, okay, or DB2, Netezza, whatever they are using. So we are accessing it. We don't know what they are using. We don't care. Okay. Now, let's say they are allowing us to use. That means they are allowing their website to view, buy some stuff, So now, let's say they bought this server, and let's say there's in the server the minimum, maximum capability of handling this user is 50. Okay, you cannot go beyond 50. Okay, that means 50 users can simultaneously log on into this website, at once. That's it. You don't go beyond that. So now what happens, right? I'm trying to use this. Okay, let's say Amazon.com is all over the world. Okay, not you and me, is not, just not 2 or 3 people are accessing. There are billions of people who might be accessing at the same amount of time, at the same interval. Okay, so let's say 1,000 people are accessing this. Okay, let's say 100 people. 100 people at once is accessing this URL, but the server capability of Amazon is 50. Okay, and 100 people are logging into it. Not just logging, just using this, URL at once. 100 people are using this. So can anyone tell me what happens, if 100 people are using this URL at once, and Amazon has a server of just 50 users can use it? Can anyone tell me what exactly happens? Exactly. Okay, stress to the server, good. Increase on the load on the website, okay, good. Crash a website, that's too good. Okay, yeah, a lot of things, right? Yeah, that's right. A lot of things happen. Okay, it can happen anything. And if you're trying to increase the load, if you're trying to increase a lot of users, the max server gets blown. It just gets blown. Why? Because whenever you're trying to access this URL, it consumes some amount of resources in the server. Like what? Like memory. It utilizes some memory. It utilizes, the processing speeds get faster and faster. So the heat sink, the heat sink doesn't work that fast because, the fan moves more fast because, it needs to dissipate the heat that is created by the processor. A lot of things happen in the back end, a lot of things. So now that's the reason it cannot handle many users. Only 50 users recommended. That's what they said, and that's what it's going to handle that many. Now let's say Amazon has bought one more server. Okay, one more server to access this URL. Okay, now 100 people are logging it. They figure it out, and they bought one more server. Okay. And now there's something called load balancer. Okay, so the load balancer. Now, what does this load balancer do exactly? You know what it does is it takes some of the users and put into the another server. Now, if what happens, right, whenever the user tries to use this URL, 100 people are, as I said, 100 people. Now, what this load balancer does, it removes 50 users because too much load on the server and puts on another server. That's how you can maintain the balance of too many people. Now that's the reason this Google the year of 2013 or 2011, I think 2012 or something, Google had million servers all over the world. Okay, million servers. Now I think the million has gone. I think it's more than a million. Okay, so that's the reason they maintain that. Why do you need these many servers? Because the people, the people try to access it, and they want faster and faster internet, and they want to use it as quick as possible. Okay, so that's the reason you need more and more servers to use this. So that's the reason of this load testing. Now here, here where this comes load testing, right? So that was about introduction, what happens exactly at the back end. But when you do this load testing, right? So what you exactly do in this load testing? So here what you do is, what exactly is a load testing is to identify the bottleneck of an application. Okay, what exactly is the load testing? In the load testing, you identify the bottleneck of an application. That's called load testing. How do you do that? So you will test, giving the high loads, a lot of load, as I told you, like 100 users. Now 100 users, it doesn't make sense. Now this is too many people. They put 2,000 users, 5,000 users. And there's a tool called load runner. Okay, since you don't have real 1,000 people to put the load, so what the tool does, it creates a virtual user to put that load. So that once you put the load into the server, it means 1,000 people are logging in at once. Okay, so once you put that, so what exactly they do, what happens after doing this load testing? So once you have done this load testing, there's a graph. Lot of graphs are plotted. What graphs? Like a lot of, too many graphs, like throughput, okay, memory usage, RAM usage, okay, operating system. Lot of graphs are plotted, and you see, what's happening in this, and you report to your manager saying that, hey, this is 1,000 people are logging into this same time, and because of this, the stress of the server is increasing rapidly, and what are you going to do in that? There will be a lot of discussion on that. That would be a different story. But load testing is something really different. This is not, related to QA, but it's, okay. So it's actually the different team, actually, performance testing team. So there is a QA team, okay. There's the automation team, or there's the regression testing team, okay. And there is a performance team who does this load testing and stress testing, okay. So that's about the load testing. What is load testing? To identify the bottleneck of an application is called load testing. How do you do that? You use a tool called load runner or load UI. A lot of tools in the market. Okay, and what exactly is the output of that? You plot the graphs. Okay, a lot of graphs. Throughput, RAM usage, memory usage, Unix, utilization of the Unix. Utilization of the operating system. Utilization. So a lot of things happen. Okay, you plot the graph and discuss about this. What we are going to do and how are you going to improve this, and what steps are we taking to improve this load performance of the system. Okay, so that's the load testing. Let's go to the next one. So there's a another called stress testing. Okay, so this, what is the stress testing? See here, you not only just put load. So what exactly is the load? So as I told you, load is just just putting this 1,000 people are accessing this URL. That's called load. Okay. Now coming to stress, you not only just use this 1,000 people are using this continuously. Okay. Now that's called stress, because you put more than a load there. Okay. What you're trying to do is you're actually using more than a load. Okay. Stress testing is beyond specification. what you are doing, so everyone tries to here, use this button. See, I cannot use this actually. This is stuck. Okay. So, a lot of people will be using this, they click this button, they navigate this page randomly. The usage is very high. Okay, so that's our stress testing. So 1,000 people are doing a lot of things, navigating the page, accessing these buttons, accessing these URLs, trying to do a checkout, a lot of things. So that's called stress testing. Why? Because it not only just, it also does the complex database queries. Okay, complex database queries means it's not something like who's trying to put select star, from EMP. It's not like, somebody is using this complex database queries in sense, whenever you're using this, let's say you're using this button. Now, when you're clicking this button, there is a SQL query generated at the back end of the server, and that query actually, automatically queries the database and retrieves whatever the information is there in the database and shows up in this web page. Okay, so that's what, complex database query means. Okay, now continuous input and system, database load. So whenever you're trying to keep on clicking these buttons, keep on clicking this web pages, that leads to, continuous input and, input system or database load. Okay, so that's stress testing. What is stress testing? You're going beyond the load. That means you're not even just accessing this URL anymore. You are actually querying that, just like clicking button. So remember everything. So remember one thing, okay? Whenever you're clicking anything, that means the SQL is generated for that. Okay, it can be any SQL. It can be MySQL. It can be Oracle SQL. It can be, DB2 SQL. It doesn't matter. Okay, whatever database they are using, it will be that SQL. Okay, so the SQL is automatically generated and queries to that database, and what are the information that is stored in the database, so retrieves that and shows into this web page. So that's, so by just clicking this one button, you're doing these many things. Okay, so that's the stress testing. Okay, this has some issues here. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so you have this now. Let's go to the next topic: usability testing. So what exactly are you doing here? You are checking the user friendliness. Okay, let me give an example here: user friendliness. So what exactly do I mean by user friendliness? Okay, so let's say I want to buy something here. Okay, I want to buy, and let's say I have an account here. Okay, now I have an account and I want to sign in. Right? I want to sign in, and now let's say this sign in button is right here. You see this sign in? Good. Now, as a customer, as a user, I want this sign in button right in front of my page, right in front of my page. I just want to buy something, and this sign in button should be here so that I can sign into my account. Simple. Now, I don't want sign in button, somewhere in this insignificant place on this footer of the page. Okay, I don't want signing button here, because how do I know that your signing button is here, right? It's the first question. How do I know it's here? Now I would look into first page itself, because I want to sign in. So that's the usability testing. That means user friendly. How user friendly the application is. How the user friendly the web application is called user friendliness. Oh, I don't know why this is coming. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's the user friendliness check. Okay, so any questions so far? Bit sound, can you guys mute yourself, because I cannot use this and all this. So people who are opening issues with the Zoom.is, please use this. The user interface is not so good. You know, even I'm facing a lot of issues here. Okay, so also people who are opening issues, please go ahead and also open that. This is not working. Okay, so let's go to the next topic. Install and uninstall testing. Install and install. This is more related to client applications, not just web applications. So web application, you really don't install anything except this extensions in browser. Again, that's not completely client or web application. Okay, so it's a bit different. But install and uninstall testing is more for a client applications. What are the client applications? Whatever you install in your system, whatever it can be mobile phones, it can be laptop, it can be system, which you are installing in your system is called client applications. Okay, because it has nothing to do with the browser. You don't interact with the browser. What's the example? Example I told you, like Outlook. Okay, Outlook you need to install in your system and see. So to test that installation and uninstallation, is called okay. Install and install testing. So normally, how do you do it? You normally test. Let's see. You go to this.
जैसे install हुआ कि नहीं install हुआ यही है.
I guess we'll check it and run करके to see.
Basically, whatever this says, that's what it means, right?
So you go to this control panel and you install. Okay.
Yeah, okay, install say what can you?
Okay, so here you can install. So what happens is installation and uninstall, right? Whenever you install an application, a lot of things happen, as I told you, right? A lot of DLL files gets updated, registry files get updated. A lot of things happen. We want to test that. That's called install and uninstall testing. Okay, this is more for a client applications, not web applications. So far we were talking about this web application. This is the client application. Let's move to the next topic. Recovery testing. So in this recovery testing, right, what we do?
We recover shit.
Yeah, that's what I was telling, right? So, if I have to mute, let me see this. See, this has so many issues. Wow. Ah, great. Okay. Okay, now I think it's good. Okay, now everyone is muted, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, this is so many issues. Okay, now what's recovery testing? Okay, so what you do is here is, whenever you use an application, how soon it gets recovered from a crash. Let's say it gets crashed, okay, or something else, hardware failures or server issue or something else. Okay, how soon it gets recovered. to test that is called recovery testing. Okay, how soon it gets recovered from crash. Okay, so let's go to the next one, security testing. So what do you do in this security testing? So here, here, so you want to see how much, you want to see how the application performs. Let's take an example, okay, before going here. So let's say, google.com. See, whenever I use this google.com, right? So here you see this HTTPS. So that means hypertext transfer protocol. HTTP means hypertext transfer protocol. S means secure. Okay. So now what exactly this happens, right? If you are using HTTP, that means whatever you're trying to see is someone can, view this. Someone, whatever you're trying to do online, somebody can, take that information. So that's the reason whenever you're doing transactions online, your credit card information, your address, you want to make sure this is HTTPS. Okay. What exactly is this? So what happens in this, right? They have this certificate. Okay, the certificate installed in the system, and what it does, whenever you're trying to do something online, it encrypts the data. Let's say your credit card number. It encrypts in such a way that even if you want hacker, if you want to see that, they cannot see that because it's encrypted, and only decryption is possible at the server point of, at the server. So that's what this. It's not just because HTTP just put an S, it becomes HTTPS. No, HTTPS means it's there's an algorithm that they use internally in the server to encrypt the data, and that algorithm is similarly used at the end of the client to decrypt the data. Okay, so that testing, you need to do this testing. Okay, so all this testing, that's called security testing. Okay, so what you want to see is this testing, how well the system protects against an unauthorized access. Okay, unauthorized access, that's called security testing. Let's move to the next topic pretty quick. So you have this compatibility testing. Okay, so what's this compatibility testing is? You want to see how, let's say you have the two products, okay, the two products, and how it is compatible with the operating system, compatible with the hardware, compatible with software. Okay, a lot of, compatible, right? How it suits for your system, how it suits for your operating system. Is it compatible with XP? Is it compatible with Vista, and so on? Okay, Unix. That kind of testing is called compatible testing. Okay. So you also have one more, comparison testing. Okay. So this is not similar to sanity testing. Okay, sanity testing is different. You use the different version, but here you are comparing the two different versions. In sanity testing, you are not comparing anything. Okay. So that in the comparison testing, you are using two versions and comparing which version is good. Okay, so let's move to the next one. There's one more called alpha testing. Okay, so alpha testing is, so now let's say when do we do this alpha testing? Alpha testing is done once the development is done. When the development is done, that guy, developer says, okay, developer is done, I'll just start my alpha testing. Okay. So normally in some companies, right? Anyone who is responsible on the project, such as business analyst, developer, tester, or project manager, scrum master, whoever is responsible on this project can do alpha testing. Okay. Because it's in-house virtual user environment. That means the people who are responsible into the project can do this alpha testing. So now they have their own way of doing that, testing. Okay, testers have their own way, developers have their own way, business analyst also does the testing, but business analyst does the business point of view. Okay, and tester does the user point of view. Okay, so all this, whoever is responsible to do that will be doing this alpha testing. So most of the time, it is done after the development is done. Okay. So next one is beta testing. So what's exactly is this beta testing? So beta testing So let's say, company has launched a product. No, they have completed all this alpha testing and everything is done. They want to put in production environment. That means now what this company does, right? Of course, they don't believe their own testers and developers. They know they don't trust. Okay, so company doesn't trust this developers and testers. They know they might screw up something. So what they do is they put limited in, version that's like demo application. It's a demo application and then tell the users and they release to the whole world. If they release to the whole world saying that, why don't you start use it and test it, and so that if you find any bugs, report to us. We will fix it. So that's called beta testing. Beta testing is done by the end customers, okay, or the users, okay. So, and this is not done by developer testers, these are done by the users, okay. So that's it, that's the end of all these testings. Any questions so far? I need to start this so that, I'll give some added information on this. Okay, if no questions, let's go to here pretty quick. So, okay. If you don't have questions, now I'll be asking you questions. Okay, so here's the thing. You have gone into the project, let's say, now you know all the testings, a lot of testing, we have done a lot of theory part. Now let's go to a practical point of view. You have done a lot of testing, okay, no big deal, now I can do testing. Okay, good. Now you have gone into the project, okay, you have the leads, you need to coordinate with the leads. Now you don't just have to go talk to the manager, that's not a good idea to always talk to the manager. Okay, manager is always busy, and they don't welcome your, they don't welcome your issues. So you need to be careful while, doing this. So you need to always coordinate always with the lead. And if you are a lead, you know what to do. You cannot directly go with the manager. You need to set up meeting, you need to see who is free and who is not. And then you need to solve any issues if there are any. So now you are a QA guy and, you are, now this is the application what you need to test. Now, lead team told you that this is need to test, you somehow figure it out. So because we told, okay, why don't you start testing a new project? We told you, why don't you start testing a new project? Now, okay, so you figure it out somehow that this is the URL of this project. You talk to your colleague, you talk to the developer and figure it out. Okay, good. So this is the application, and now you don't ask developer what I'm going to test. Now that's not a good question. That's not a valid question. You are an experienced guy. You're not going to say what I'm going to test. Now that's not a really valid question, and really that doesn't make sense. So the moment you ask that question, they'll figure it out. You're a noob. Okay, you don't know anything. Okay, so you should not ask what I need to test. What you need to ask is, are we going to do all of this testing? So we learned a lot of testing, right? Functional testing, integration testing, smoke testing, sanity testing. So what question you need to ask is, are we going to do all of these testings, or do we have any separate teams of doing this? How are we going to proceed? That should be a question. Okay, you cannot ask, this, okay, what I need to test. So that's really not a valid question, and don't do that. Okay, so again, if you have any question, what I need to test, you need to test everything. You are a QA guy, nobody tells you what to test. Okay, no one. Because they hired you to test it, not to tell what to test, right? You're supposed to know that. Okay, so now I know what to test. I need to test everything. Okay, good. Now what I'm trying to see is, let's say this is a button. I'm clicking that button. So what button? Enter GMO online. And okay, this is the retail company. Good. Now what I'm doing, okay. Let's see, now let's order something, okay. You know what, let's just place an order here. That's good. This page is a little slow. Okay, that's fine. That's good. I want to buy something. That's great. Okay. I need to fill up information here. Okay, good. Here I need credit card information. Let's put that. Great. I have credit card information here. I'll put just 12 2017. Bill address is my same shipping address because I'm sorry, bill ship address is same as bill address. If it is different, then you need to put different. Remember, because you cannot put both same. Because if you have credit card from a different billing address, then you need to put that billing address. Okay, if you're staying in a different, let's say you bought a credit card in New Jersey and you didn't change the address, you need to put in New Jersey and not different state. Okay, so if it is same, that's fine. Put as same. Now, place an order. No. Okay, great. So I just bought an item which will ship to this. Okay, good. Okay, so you know what? We just finished this. Okay, we said okay, we start testing, and you really didn't find any issues. Okay, why? Because you really didn't care about any issues what were there. We didn't test anything, right? We just went one flow. That was one positive flow. Okay, here's the thing. When you start testing, you need to remember this. You need to have 3 scenarios. What are they? Positive scenario, negative scenario, and boundary values. What we just did was positive scenario. That's everyone is expected. Everyone thinks that that's how it should be. But normally, that's not really the case. Now, let's see, that was easy. Okay, everyone can do that, no big deal. Now, what I'm trying to do here, I'm doing testing here. Okay, now testing is really, to test everything. Now, okay. Okay, so again, remember, these 3 things you need to do: positive scenario, negative scenario, and boundary values. We'll discuss about this a little bit later. Okay, now I want to order this. Order what? Order all this quantity, all these items of these many quantities. Okay, good. Click on this. Okay, great. So I'm paying this much amount of money. Okay, good. So yeah, so let me ask you a question. You guys have seen my previous site. So my question is, there is an issue here on the web page. Can anyone tell me what exactly the issue is? There's a problem in this web page. Now I'm trying to do testing, right? What I'm trying to do is testing, and there is an issue here. Okay, shipping. Okay, good. Limit limit is something which is okay. We'll talk about that one. That's a different thing. That is an issue, of course, but really don't know what's exactly so. Okay, not secure. That's good. That's a good. That's a good point. Not checking inventory availability. That's one more good issue. Okay, great. Yeah, that's a good point. Somebody took it's not secure. That's good. Sales tax too much. That's a very good question. Very big order. Oh, really, that's not my problem. It's not very big order. I'm just trying to test here. Okay, so that's not my problem. It's a very big order. It's a very small order. What I'm trying to do is test. So I don't care. It's a big order or something. Okay. No back and edit order. Okay, that's really not an issue. That's a feature that you can request. Okay, good. A lot of people have answered. Any more people who want to answer? No cancel button. Okay. So really, I know 2-3 guys who have really pointed a good issue: shipping and handling. And there's no HTTPS. That's a very good question. You need to have this HTTPS because you're not going to give a credit card information just like that. And some people said a lot of quantities. We'll talk about this. Yes, that's an issue, but really you don't know how this issue. But as a tester, I'm going to test it. So I don't care, what quantity, I don't care. I'll put millions, I'll put billions. I don't care. I'm testing it. Okay. So if I'm a customer, of course, that really matters. So that's why we are testing it. Okay. So somebody said there's no cancel and back order. So these guys are specified here. Use, to use browser back to change your selection. So really, the business analyst already told you here. So your question is ruled out. They said, right, use back browser to change your selections. So no more your valid question. Okay, so shipping and handling fee, that's correct, $5. So my question to you is, even if these guys are shipping this, okay, do you really think USPS will charge you just $5 to these many quantities? No, right? Even if, okay, they might ship it from FedEx or, UPS or, whatever it is. Let's take a simple scenario, USPS. And now, yes, that's right. No one, doesn't charge. Okay, the company might give you, since you're ordering large quantity, company will say, okay, shipping is free, about $100, $200 shipping is free. That's fine. But it's really not scenario of having just a $5 to have these many quantities. So that's a bug. You get that? That's an issue. Okay. Now you have found this bug. That doesn't mean that, okay, now I know the bug, I'll open this defect. No, you're not going to open any defect. First you need to talk. Talk to whom? Talk to lead. You know what I do if I was a QA, I'll just take a screenshot, print screen option, and email that guy saying that, hey, you know what, I'm getting shipping and handling $5 when I'm trying to order. Is this a valid scenario? Okay, so I'll do that first thing. So that's one defect. Good. Okay, so everyone on the same page that they agree that this is an issue. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let me just use this. Okay, so this is how one way of opening a defect. Okay, what we have done is just a positive scenario. Now I can go ahead and try a negative scenario. So now what's exactly is this a negative scenario? Now what is the order quantity? Order quantity is always in numbers. Why? Quantity is measured in numbers, not in alphabets. Now if you are using some alphabets here or special characters or other than that, it's really not accepted, right? Because quantity, we know quantity cannot be in alphabets. Quantity should be in numbers. Now you cannot use negative option. Let's say I want to use -1. Now -1 is really not an option. See this, please enter only digits in this field. Okay. This has bugs here. Okay, this has bugs, so we'll just finish this in a second. We'll just find out this. Okay. So let's try Firefox. Firefox is better. Okay, so you know what? So we have opened one issue, that is shipping and handling. Let's go to the next issue. Let's try a negative scenario. That means what I'm trying to say is instead of ordering in numbers, I was thinking A or tilde. You know what? Tilde A. Okay, it's saying like please enter only digits in fields. Okay, I know that. Oh, now this is a bug. Why? Look at this. There is a quantity of tilde A, and what's that? That doesn't make any sense. That's not tilde A, it's not a quantity. Now, when I click that button, it moved to the next page. Now, that's a bug. You see that? I hope you guys are getting, right? Quantity is tilde A. Okay. And you know what? Total price 0, and customer is going to charge $5 for what? Now, nothing is going to ship, and I don't know, I'm still going to move forward this page and fill up all this information, and the customer get billed for $5 for nothing. Now that's an issue. Okay, so this is called negative testing. Why negative testing? Okay, so I'm repeating many times because there are people who are, background is not computer science, or maybe, the guys are not from engineering or something like that. So that's the reason I'm repeating. So people who know it, okay, good. I'm just trying to understand people of non-engineering background, okay? So that you can get them, what I'm trying to say. So if I'm repeating once again, so don't worry about it, okay? Okay, so that's the second bug, okay? When you find two, what? One is from positive scenario and one is from negative scenario. Okay, let me give one more option for you. Boundary values. You know what? Boundary values, let's see. 0.001. Now that's not an, okay. Quantity order 0.001. Oh, it's I'm getting 30 cents. And shipping what? 0.001. What's that? Oh, that's not even a number. Okay, and total $5.31. So this is a bug. Okay, now these both are similar. Actually, if you open this defect, actually that gets into both the things. But here what I'm trying to say is, three types of scenarios. What we did is we opened a defect in positive scenario where we seeing lot of large quantity and we said shipping was strong. Now next we open another defect which is other than number. We open a tilde A. That's a negative scenario, and this is boundary value. Boundary value sense which is decimals kind of So that's a bug. Any questions so far? So you guys better ask questions because I'm going to give homework. Okay. And now homework. You need to do this homework. Okay. Oops. Sorry. This internet will go. So okay, good. Okay. So you need to do this homework. What you need to do is, I'll send you an email. So no worries. I'll give you instructions. What you need to do. Follow the instructions. I need defects, at least one defects, and it should be unique. Now you cannot come up with the same defect what I'm saying to you. Okay. Now you said like you open a defect for tilde A. Now I will open a defect for tilde B. No, that's not a valid. Okay, that's not a valid defect. I would not consider that defect because I already shown you. How to open a defect. You need to be creative to open a defect. Okay. There are a lot of issues here. Okay, a lot of things which doesn't work in this website. Okay, this forget about this website. I'll show you defects in Google itself. Okay, I'll show you defects in the Google itself. Forget about this website. There's Google, email, everything. The thing is, when you're trying to, testing, right? So the testing is some kind of profession that you need to have opinion that this website has bugs. When you have that opinion, you can find n number of bugs, and the moment you find any number of bugs, that means your job is good. Nobody can remove from your job, because even if they fix that issue, who is going to test that? There's no one. Nobody does that. Okay, you are the guy who need to do. And if they remove you, now they will be in trouble, because if this goes in production, that will be an issue, and business gets hurt. So that's a good thing is you need to open a lot of issues. Okay, I'm not saying a lot of issues. You need to be you need to open some bugs. Keep on opening issues so that you don't get into trouble. Okay, so let me show you one more example, and we can close this. So there is a lot of issues. Okay, just keep in mind. Okay, let me show you actually. Even like see, here is the thing. Even Google has a lot of issues. You know what? Let me show you something. Okay, so these guys are actually, three other things. They don't even show this web, this image, so broken image. Okay, good. So they are migrating this whole thing into different thing. But let me check here. No previews available. Wow, I cannot. Okay, let me download this. Oh, I cannot even download this application. Great. Access denied. Wow. Okay, so let me check a different one. Okay, let me check a different. View this here. Oh, great! I can view this. Download this. I can download this too. So these are the bugs. Okay, you see this? Whenever I'm trying to access this particular thing, I'm not able to view this. No preview available. I don't know. And if I want to download this, I cannot download this. It's in some error. Why customer has to know this, right? This is a bug. So and this is all in google.com website. So, okay, there's a different story. They're migrating this. They might retire this application. That's a different story. But yeah, they do have the bugs. Okay, so let me show you one more bug here. Okay, in this application. Now, let's see. I'm clicking this. I'm clicking this URL. Okay, oh, yeah. Okay, let me try this in Chrome. Okay, I'm using this 3% don't end. Okay, so here is some information about that. 3% backdown. Okay, unit price $299 and in stock 23. Okay, great. So in stock 23, that means I cannot order more than 23. Okay, so let's order 100. Oh, so now this page is going into the 100, and you know what? Wow, everything is going. And oops. So as you can see, I've ordered 100 and go proceed with order. And using this. Okay, what is the order? Oh, so I place an order whose quantity is actually 23. Now, what happens, right? Whenever now you placed and paid for how many? You paid for 100 items, but how many are you getting? 23. What about the remaining items? That is in the backlog, and they don't even know when it comes and will they ship to the customer. That that's not even a story. So what happens right now? Customer gets how many? 23. Because why? Because it's showing 23 in stock. Now what happens? Now what customer says, hey, I paid this much of amount of money, and what I'm getting 23. Okay. So now customer is really becomes okay. They call the customer care. The customer care doesn't respond. Lot of things happen. Okay. So now at the end of the day, business. It's a loss to the business. So who's getting lost? The company is getting in the loss because now there's complaints. This not responding, and sometimes what? Send to the customers. Customer care is so rude. Okay, they'll say okay, go with the consumer code. I don't care. That's what they say. And what? They file a lawsuit, and a lot of things happen. So where does it start from? It starts from this small simple bug, 23. So that's a bug here. Okay, that's the important bug here. Okay, just saying 23 placed an order for 100, and and he gets for only 23, but he paid for 100 items. Okay, that's about it. Any questions? Any questions so far? So my contact information, you know what? My email ID is manu@itamerica.com. And if you want to reach me, try to reach me to the email first. If I'm available, then you can go ahead and call me 732-333-4781. Okay. But now I'll be a little bit busy, 1-2 hours. The evening I'll be free. There are a lot of meetings today. So, yeah. Right. So I'll be sending you homework. You have plenty of time. You'll be having how much? 24 hours, less than 24 hours. But I guess you can do that. But you just spend 2-3 hours. I think that should be good. So whole application is, I'll give you this whole application. What you need to do is just find bugs for me. And just to want to make sure, don't come up with issues what I have told. Now that's see, I will reject that defects. Because I have already told you. You cannot tell me back that this is a defect. Okay, I told you, right? If you're saying that, 100, and showed you some defect. Now you cannot say like, 1,000, or it's a different defect. No, it's just same. Okay, you need to be creative. So I'll be giving you, you know what, you need to write in MS Word. I'll be giving you, don't worry about it. I have this instructions ready already. I'll be giving you this, okay? So don't worry about it. Follow the instructions and it will be good. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is good. You need to be proactive. So so this is what I wanted. So previous batch, I don't know, something, something was there. People didn't. That's what I always say. You need to be proactive. Just like you guys look at this. People are talking in the chat. So this is how you should be. You need to be proactive. Okay. Why? Because this is communication skills. That shows your communication skills. If you have more communication skills, that's how you can speed up your work. That's what it gets recognized from your boss, because your boss will check all these. Okay, you don't know, but they will monitor all these things. Calm skills. Okay, how proactive you are, how you're doing the work. A lot of coordination, how your coordination. A lot of things is monitored of you. So this is good. Always be proactive. Okay, that means whenever I ask question, either say okay, no, I don't know, no idea, something. Okay, so this is good. You're doing good. So make sure you continue that. Okay. Okay, any more questions? I'm planning to close this class early. Oops, got one more meeting. Okay, good. This. Okay, if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, great. Okay, thank you guys.